Talked about how a good conspiracy theory draws people into a story, and this is the primary reason of this bar's collectability. It was a cool autumn day, and one by one, the prosecution brought in the witnesses to the stands. Paramedics, policemen, family, friends, laborers, OSHA, and a coroner. Hold on. You're like, hey, Frosty, aren't we talking silver bars today? Yep, in fact, we are. So stay tuned. The year was 1985. Two companies, deep doo-doo, and a legal team wondering, do we charge them with manslaughter or murder? Well, murder was the charge. But have you ever heard of B.R. McKay and Sons? Or maybe Film Recovery Services? Probably not. And if you've seen the bar, then you might not know the story. So let's catch you up to speed. Silver recovery. So this is the process by which you would take silver out of old x-ray films. You ever had your knee looked at or your shoulder looked at and you saw the x-ray and it had a picture and they said, there's your problem. Well, there's silver in there. And they can do a couple different things to remove the silver. And in fact, they can get about 99% of the silver out of the x-rays and reutilize it and refine it. So today there's a couple different types and they're a little bit more user-friendly because in the past they would burn it, they would take the ash, they would recover the silver from it, and then it had to go through a bunch of stages. It was really inefficient, it was very costly, and environmentally unfriendly, also very unsafe. But today there are three different types of this. There's electrolysis, metallic replacement, and chemical precipitation. Chemical precipitation was the one utilized in this particular case, and what they would do was called a wash. This is where the films were cut up and placed into large chemical reagent baths, and they used cyanide. Now, cyanide actually leaches the silver from the film. Now, we're not going to talk too much about this, but utilizing a little bit of electrolysis, they can get that down to about a 99% silver recovery rate. Pretty efficient. The amount of silver that's identified in things like dental and veterinary practices represents a significant financial investment. And for people to just throw stuff away just doesn't make sense. A lot of people have changed to filmless systems just because it's too difficult to justify all the additional work. But because this process is still used and we have people that are using it today, why is this particular bar or these set of bars so valuable? Well, murder, OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, the refusals by a Utah governor to extradite two defendants from Utah created a well-placed conspiracy. In order to understand the conspiracy, we're going to have to go to FRS. FRS is an Illinois-based company that was hired by B.R. McKay and Sons to extract the silver from the films. Now again, B.R. McKay would do the silver refining, they would make the bars, but the actual recovery work from the films was done by Film Recovery Services. Remember in the beginning I said one by one, the prosecution brought witnesses, paramedics, yada, yada, yada. Well, OSHA is the key element in that opening. See, at this point, no corporate officers had ever been charged with the crime. In Illinois, stated that if a person commits murder, if they act that he or she knows a strong probability of death or great bodily harm exists. Well, the warning they utilized on the cyanide stated just that. Sick, vomiting, all these things could occur, and you're supposed to report. Now, they ignored the reports from workers, and ultimately, a man died. Now, I'm not going to go into the medical side of the house because we have somebody who's a doctor who's going to talk about this in another video, and I'm going to refer you to him in just a moment, so stay tuned. But before I do, remember that we talked about the governor from Utah? Yeah, well, that governor is Norm Bangeter. And his refusal to extradite B.R. McKay to Illinois caused a lot of controversy and conspiracy theories alike. Why? Well, I've talked about how a good conspiracy theory draws people into a story, and this is the primary reason of this bar's collectability. Think about it. You have religion, murder, companies, refusal to extradite. You have silver. It's like, what about this isn't a great conspiracy story? So the person that I'm going to refer you to is my partner in crime, so to speak, for this particular set of videos. and that is Tiger Stacker. So he has his video right here. Make sure you stay tuned and go check that out. We are going to be doing a live stream where we talk about our two videos. We're going to be opening up the floor to questions. So if you find this interesting, go click on this video from Tiger Stacker and then look forward to our live stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you over at Tigers.